Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Now, power, especially when you are a woman, a service-based business, a heart-led human being in any kind of caring or healing role, is a word that many of us feel uncomfortable with. But it's something that we really need to learn how to embody, especially when we're building a prosperous body and we want to move our mission-led business forward. So in this episode, I'm going to cover what healthy versus unhealthy personal power actually looks like, how that shows up in your business, how it affects your mission, and what you and your business are here to complete. And then I'll cover why it is so important when you're building a prosperous body, why it's one of those keys that helps you unlock prosperity. So let's dive into some of the symptoms of unhealthy power, because most of us have only ever seen a wounded version of power. Whether that looked like arrogance or aggression, maybe it was dominance, or maybe it was the other end of the scale where you saw shyness or people being timid. Maybe the only way they could assert their power was with sarcasm, or you have only had, people blaming others modeled to you. Or you've noticed those people who are constantly seeking reassurance. Those are all examples of unhealthy personal power. And we have seen so many bad examples of power that when you have a big heart, it makes you look at it and go, well, I actually don't want that. On a conscious level, you decide that if that's what power is, then you don't want it. But then there's also a subconscious level and what your body believes about power. So my body, for example, believed that if I asserted my power, then I would be punished or banished or shamed in some way. My body believed that I was only powerful if I was successful. If I was earning, if I was busy, if I had loads of happy clients. But I also only believed I was powerful when I had happy clients, when things were going well. So as soon as they weren't going well, I would spiral into self-doubt. And I would try and compensate for that by doing more to get people's approval, to make sure they were happy. And this is what truly makes people high achievers. You're not born a high achiever. It's something that your body believes you have to do to make you safe. And that is why it is so important to find out what your body believes, where you're giving your power away because your body believes that that is safer. That is why I spend my life trying to find these and rewrite them so that people can claim their full power back. Because while your body believes that it's safer to give your power to a person, a place, or a situation, your power is not in your body. And we'll see in a minute why it is so important for all of your power to be in your body. Now, when I was first shown this, I was shown an image of a ball of energy with loads of projections going out. And it actually brought to mind, those of you who remember those images that we kept seeing of a coronavirus, the ball with the spike proteins on the outside, that was what I saw. I had so many projections, so many spikes of my energy going out in all sorts of different directions where, how many views did I get on my reel? What is my reach doing? Is it going up or down? How many clients have I got? How much money have I got? How successful is my business? So every time I rewrote one of those, I brought some of my energy back into my body. And I kept doing that. I kept looking for all these places where I was giving my power away, whether it was to my business, to people, to money. And every time I found it and I brought some home, I could feel like a battery. My own power was becoming more and more and more. And something completely magical happened, something that I didn't expect, something that I didn't know was possible. And after that happened, I thought, right, I'm going to keep going and see if there's any more that I can bring back into my body. And that's why I want to share this with you. This is what I help people do so that you can experience the same level of magic. So let's dive into some healthy examples of power, because power is actually really peaceful. It's really calm. It's really grounded. It's really centered. And it's because there is no more of that push-pull feeling. So your power, true power, is actually enthusiastic. It's convicted, we know that. It's authentic, we know that. But it's also integrity. It's excellence. Your power is actually spontaneous and it's humorous. It's where you get your sense of humor back. Power is curious. It's willing. Power is respectful. And power is purposeful. So I want you to see how none of those things are what we've had modeled to us. We've had power modeled to us in a completely different way. So the way this is going to show up in your business, a lack of power, shows up in two different ways. Sometimes if you think of it as a spectrum, sometimes it can be on the end of, where you feel like you're being a doormat, but the other end of the spectrum is too bold. Neither of those are actually healthy. So it shows up as the audacity without the integrity. It's the charging too much without the integrity to be able to deliver what you said you could, or be able to back up what you say. Maybe you don't have, the experience or the lived experience. It's charging too much without that integrity. And we've seen that. We can see that out there. But the people that I work with are generally on the other side of the spectrum, because your heart is too big to behave that way. So the other end of the spectrum, and the more common end of the spectrum, is the undercharging. It's being over accommodating because you believe it's your responsibility to be accessible to everybody, to help everybody, to fix everybody. It shows up as avoiding the hard conversations. It shows up as perfectionism. Everything has to be just so before you'll put it out into the world. And as somebody that struggled with that for a long, long time, it really slows you down. It really slows you down. It'll show up in your business as over-explaining, whether that's your offers or your prices or any changes that you make. So for example, even a small example, if you find that you have to reschedule an appointment, are you finding that you over-explain all of the details as to why you have to reschedule that appointment? It shows up in your business as second guessing. And I want to share with you a funny story here, because I believed at one point that I had to have a certain amount of followers and have a certain amount of clients and be at a certain level of success before I could post reels where the cover photo did not have text on it. I believed that only really successful women could have accounts that had a cover photo with no text on it. And when you start to realize all the tiny ways, because this is not just giving your power away in big ways, when you start to really dial into this and claim your power back, you will find the most minute ways that you are giving your power away. And every little bit counts. So every drop of it you get back counts. And another way that this is going to show up in your business is, and this isn't just a business thing, this is a life thing as well, is making do and settling and compromising. Now, compromise is, in my opinion, the thief of prosperity. So let's dive into how your power relates to your prosperity. I actually came across a quote once, and I tried to find it before I came on here, but I couldn't find the quote, but it was something to do with your apathy towards your own power is proportional to your apathy towards money, wealth, prosperity. So the two are intricately linked. I couldn't find the quote, but if you find it, let me know. So power becomes a key to unlocking your prosperity, because prosperity is not just financial. It's being rich in time and energy and boundaries and connection and money and magic. It's thriving personally and in your family life while you are growing your income and your impact. It's caring about your impact. It's caring about your community. So prosperity is a particular frequency where everyone is thriving. Now, most people believe that for that to happen, you have to be humble. I certainly did for years and years and years. I was one of those people who looked at power and thought, that looks ugly. I don't want to be like that. But in order for you to make the identity jump from the service provider, the underdog, the servant, the little girl or boy, the second best, to the leader, the CEO, the prosperous woman, the prosperous man, and going from second best to realizing that you actually are the source, that jump takes power. And that is why you need all of the power back in your body so that you can make that jump. Power is how you're going to raise your prices without sending your nervous system into a total spin. It's how you're going to articulate what you do without your voice shaking. It's how you're going to stand tall when people misunderstand your heart. It's how you're going to move forward when nobody's clapping, nobody's choosing you, nobody's watching. It feels like you are shouting into the abyss. Power is what's going to keep moving your mission forward in those moments. And power is how your body is actually going to be able to enjoy the quality of life that you're currently creating, instead of when it lands feeling like a fraud, feeling like an imposter, like it's a temporary situation because you don't belong there. Now, the best bit that I have found so far, and I'm not done, I'm going to keep going. The best bit that I have found about rewriting what my body believes about power, claiming my power back, and embodying it And I will be honest, the first time I felt it completely, I didn't stabilize it. I wasn't able to stabilize it fully the first time. So I felt it, and then I kind of shrank back for a little while I thought, okay, let's go again. And then the second time, I was able to stabilize it in my body. So if that's you, completely normal. So the best bit and the magic that I spoke about earlier is when all of your power is now back in your body, and your body believes that it is finally whole and complete. There is nothing more for you to go and do and go and fix and go and chase and force yourself through. There is nothing that you have to go and do first. Your personal will and divine will begin to work together. So now you are not just fueled by the fire in your belly, you are fueled by divinity. It's literally a match made in heaven. So when you see people saying, you become unstoppable, this is what they mean. Because at this stage, you have access to energy, to downloads, to innovation, to insights, to memories, to ancient technologies. And that is what makes your work feel like play. Because now you have access to so many more tools. And that's when you start to just really focus on three things. Your body, because, oh my God, look what it can do and nobody told us. Your family, because we're being prosperous this time. We are not serving and sacrificing ourselves or our family or choosing between our mission and what matters to us most. Prosperity means we get to have it all, but we have to build the body that can hold it all first. So you focus on your body, your family, and your mission, because why wouldn't you? It is so much fun. So I promise you, what you see on the news is not power. Your power is holy. It is innocent and it is pure. Your power is sacred. And allowing yourself to want it, allowing yourself to embody it and feel it and move with it will change your life, your family's life, and your mission-led business. As always, DM me on Instagram. I love hearing from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on power, what you thought it was, what's changed for you now. And I look forward to connecting with you on the next podcast.